Welcome to this episode of Watches of Whimsy with Blok Watches. Let's check it out. Welcome back to this hobby of ours. I am your host, D. And in today's episode, the Watches of Whimsy, I don't know that title is going to stick, but I mean it to, or rather I intend to mean it, as a review of a whimsical watch, something that is out of the ordinary, basically a wild card. I guess I could fold this into wild card watches, but Blok watches are basically one of the most epic wild card watches I've ever seen. Now, I am wearing their latest release, which is 38 millimeters. This is their original line, 33 millimeters, and their original intent was to make a serious watch for your kiddos. And boy, did they crush it. Their unique bezel, and we'll go into that portion. We'll break down the watch on the deck in a moment. But their unique bezel that breaks down time slots to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 is absolute genius. But I think the real cornerstone of the superpower of time management that they've built in here, particularly for kiddos who are learning how to tell time, is that the numbers on the dial, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., are offset by somewhere between 3 and 5 degrees, so that whenever the hour hand is indicating 1 p.m., the entire time the hour hand is, within the hour of 1, it's actually pointing to 1. Because you know how we as adults can have trouble telling time on a watch because, it's like 1:30-ish and it's like transitioning or whatever. No problem with the kiddo version or the adult version because the numbers are in blocks and they're offset roughly 3 to 5 degrees, so that your kiddo is going to be able to know that when that hour hand is indicating 1, it's going to be on the 1 the entire time. Somewhat comical that the rest of the watch world isn't doing this also, but so genius. And gosh, I have so much respect for these guys. When I first learned about this watch, the 33, on the About Epping Time podcast, I was like, dang, they need to make that one for adults, and sure enough, they did. These two models that I'm reviewing today are the full glow models, and I think I'm probably going to go with the black model for myself. But the neat thing is they one-upped it. The larger size has a GMT complication. I am so impressed with their design language, design aesthetic, and frankly, their approach to the business of watches. Sorry, I have to adjust my shirt. My goodness, I have to look my best as I am presenting these beautiful watches. I'm just over the moon glow with it. Just so impressed by them and so grateful to them for entrusting me with their watches for a candid review. And stay tuned for after the deck because they even gave us a discount code. So without further ado, let's hit the deck and check them out. Welcome to this episode of Watches of Whimsy. I don't know, that might be a new series. I'm kicking off the Blok party with an unrelated watch, but a relevant watch. This is my Christopher Ward C65, their collab with Secunda Secunda. Absolutely adore this piece. And when I did the review of this watch, it was months ago, but it's actually the Blok watches that first came to mind with this because of the unique, I was about to say bezel, the unique bezel functionality on this watch. Saying hi, taking a power nap for use at the water cooler at your job. But it was indeed the Blok watch that had a unique bezel that made me think of it in the first place. And I reached out to Blok saying, hey, I think your guys' product, I think your watches are amazing. Would you please consider working with me? And they said, D, absolutely, we would love to. It's a little crazy right now, but let us ship you out some samples and we'll get to work. And so here we are having a Blok party, and we're on deck with Blok watches. So who are Blok watches and where do they come from? Back in 2019, James and Neil, the founders of the company, both having an industrial design background, more or less came to the table, came to their table. Hey, they were hanging out and they were like, hey, let's build a serious watch for kids. And they sure enough went out and did it.
And that's what made me so passionate about an analog watch for kids, because the actual art of the hands moving, around the dial lets them start to build this reference of the amount of time that it takes for something to happen. Josh, that's awesome. George has got kids, and George is a watch nerd as well, and he's a good friend. We've known each other for a long time, but it's pretty cool when somebody else that makes watches also wears your watches or has them. It was really neat. Okay, so this is a late 1960s Heuer Atavia. This is one that Discommon made completely custom. It's actually kind of fun. It's a titanium case, but this is basically a 60s watch. And the crown, most commonly on Rolex, would be on the other side. People are familiar with it being the same place where the pushers are. But back in Heuer days, they decided to do a left-hand side crown because it was used most commonly by race car drivers. And the idea was that if your hands were kicked back and you're holding a steering wheel, you didn't want the crown to be poking into the back of your hand. So we thought if it was good enough for a race car driver, the other thing that might affect that is the little bendy wrists of a kid.
I first learned about Blok watches when I was watching About Effing Time, amazing channel. I'm not sure which of the three gentlemen brought Blok to the table. I think it was George, to be fair. But as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, wow. That makes me want to have kids. No, that makes me want to, if I had, children of my own, or maybe G Money's kids, maybe they'll be getting one in the post from Uncle D. I was like, wow, what an amazing thing. Okay, so what are we talking about here? We've got two on deck here. We've got basically their original design, which is their 33. But this is the 38. This one is made for bigger kids, i.e. the adults, i.e. the parents. And I asked for both of them in the same colorway so we could see the sizes and whatnot, and to see how cool they are up close and in person. Both of these watches are quartz. And this is the Glow model, the Blok 33 Glow. And this entire case is luminescent. We'll see that later when we get to the lume shot. But dang, what a neat concept. So the bezel has got these unique gradations, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, and 30, to help your kiddo time their time out, or in the terms of Kayson's kid, their time in. Kayson, pick one of these up for your boys. Actually, get two. And you can time your time in, although your baby's a little on the young side. I think G Money's kiddos are a little closer to using this. But what an epically fun thing, because I'll tell you what, when I'm hanging out at G Money's joint and they only let their kids watch TV on the weekend, and I tell you what, look out Loretta. When TV time comes on, or when it's time to pull the plug, dang, they do a countdown. But you know what? If they have their watch, they can count it down themselves. And the funny thing, I remember seeing an interview with the founders of Blok where they were saying it's hard for a kid to understand the perception of time and time passing. Like, if you're in a car ride, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? But with something like this, they could answer that question for themselves. And these things are nigh indestructible, nigh bulletproof. Basically, they got a 10-year life ETA. And this one you'll have a little bit of challenge swapping the battery out if you need to. I saw another YouTuber attempting to do so. But you know, the battery life is so long that the child may age out before needing to do so. But then you can change it if you wanted to. It's not like a Swatch watch where you can't get in there. But that is a 2mm thick sapphire. You heard me right, sapphire. And with this left-hand drive crown, which is present on both models, it's not going to dig into the wrist. So very smart, very robust. And what is their mission statement? It is, time management is indeed a superpower. And isn't that true for all of us? But the tradition of analog is worth preserving. And so their watches are analog, educational, and they say Barracuda proof. That is that's such a funny line. I love it, guys. Absolutely love it. So that is the 33. This one is the 38. Come on, focus, play ball. And you'll notice that this one has a GMT function. How clever. Guys, I have to take my hat off to you. This is just so smart. Like, first of all, this was so smart for the kids, and then bringing this one along for the adults is so absolutely brilliant, and a ton of colorways. In fact, let's take a quick look at their website, see what other color options they have. Welcome to the Blok Party, designed for the big leagues. The all-new 38mm dual-time model is indeed here. I kind of really admire and like that black one. That is on my to-do list. But we also have some other ones over here. We've got the Discommon edition. This is the one I'm checking out. And they've got a handful of straps available for these watches as well. This is the glow model we're looking at today. Also have the gray. Fairly reasonable on the price point, but also looking at the bundles. And to be fair, the bundles is where the real value is at. So if you've got a little one, or if you've got, if you got a spouse with a tiny wrist, 38 and 33, you could be twinsies. And these watches are fairly robust, fairly amazing. I can't be more impressed by them. That's why I sought them out to have a review. And they've got a bunch of these different single pass straps as well in all of the major colorways and the complementary ones. So go ahead and check them out. And by all means, all right, let's do a little close-up of the full glow of the Blok 38. That is fairly amazing. So by all means, hit me up for a discount code and get a discount on your stuff. Yeah, basically, I think that black one is coming my way, and then when I go visit G Money and his kids, Uncle D can have the same watch as them. That would be so cool. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be rad. All right, so let's get the boxes out of the way, look at the watches, and you know what we love to do. Let's put some numbers up on the board, shall we? What you got, D? What you got? All right, so this is the 38mm version over here on the left, 33 over here. We've got a 44. Oh, I forgot to mention, these are fixed lugs, very much like the Tudor FXD. So single pass straps need only apply. This one is actually a very unique strap. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this one for a second. This is a single pass strap with this stitched nub to kind of help it keep in place. Oh, and you see here, easier battery access on this one right there. Boom. So single pass straps need only apply. This one is a formerly referred to military spec strap. We know what that means. I can't believe that dude in the US is getting away with patenting or trademarking the name that these straps used to have. Shame on him. That is just not too cool. Not too cool at all. But all right, back to the dims. This is not a watch war. This is a watch comparison. We've got 11.4 of thickness here. A little over, not quite 11 here. We've got 10.65. So 20 millimeters on the strap here, perfectly fine. 17 here. 100 meters of water resistance, robust. This can go on vacation with you. Sapphire. I'm so impressed they went with sapphire instead of something like a hard Lex. Obviously, mineral crystal would not have been good. Acrylic, no good. But well done, you guys, putting the value in there with the sapphire. Well, this has the ETA quartz. This has a Ronda quartz. So great movements, the both of them. Very light, 39 grams here, 19 grams here. I weighed those off of the strap, so not very heavy at all. Looking at the cost modeling, as of this video, You can get the 38 for $429, and then the one over here for $229, the 33. But that's not where the real value is. For me, the value is getting this as a bundle. So if you were to get this bundled for you, let's say you and your little one, whether you're the mom or the dad, and boy or girl, fairly unisex with the colorways, $549 for both of them, which is, I say, the best way to approach it. Now, certainly, if you're an adult, almost like me, and you don't have any kiddos and you like this, absolutely, you can go ahead and get one. Permission granted, number one. And I think you could have some, I'm going to put this on wrist in a moment. I think you have some real fun with this. In fact, let's do that, D. And ba-bam. On my 6.5-inch wrist, long lead. Looking good. And with a single pass strap, you're always going to get a nice little height bump. It'll wear a little bit larger, but not really this case. It's wearing rather svelte to the wrist in this case. Gosh, I love it so much. Bi-directional bezel. This watch is so much fun. Gosh, I'm probably going to have to buy that black one. I think that black one is the colorway for me. But this is both of these are all glow. In fact, let's pop in a lume shot. Epic lume, inside, outside, all the way around. Even if your little one is afraid of the dark, how could they be? They're basically wearing a nightlight on the wrist. Epically good. Wonderful lume. I think what? I'll put it both on one wrist. And ba-bam. We don't often get size references for a 33 millimeter watch. But let's say you're a parental, a mama bear with a smaller wrist. You could get one of the 33s for yourself and one for the kiddos. Gosh, I can't wait for G-Money's kids to grow up just a little bit so we can get them these watches and have fun. Uncle D, watch time fun. That would be so much. I miss you guys. I miss you, G-Money and family. Can't wait to come visit you guys again. And the single pass straps are amazingly good, high quality. It's got this, it's not a keeper, it's like an end tail that's going to give it a little bit of strengthening at the end. And just wonderful watches. I'm so very impressed with it. Well done, James and Neil. I'm so glad, and I should take a moment and express my gratitude, and I'm so grateful to you for loaning these in to me. But it's such a great thing to be able to explore them. It's a very unusual watch. A watch of whimsy. There's a little bit of whimsy in there. But it makes me wonder, what would Secunda do with you guys in terms of a partnership? What could he add to it? I don't know. There's such a beautiful, whimsical nature to the fact that you guys said, no, we're going to change the bezel and we're going to do it our way. Absolutely love it. Absolutely think it's epically brilliant, gentlemen. Epically brilliant. All right, let's go back to the studio. Ba-bam. Blok watches suitable for kids of all ages. I just think it's a really neat idea. Like if I had kiddos, I would get the same colorway so that me and my son or daughter would have the exact same watch. And they've got a ton of colorways, as you saw in the review of their website. And they've got bundle packages. And as I hinted at before, they have given us, the Hobby of Hours crew, the Hobby of Hours family, a discount code. They are limited though. I only have a set amount of them. So if you're interested in a Blok watch or two or a combo, hit me up downstairs in the comments and I will connect with you and I will get you the discount code so you can get a discount off of some of your stuff. And I want to say an incredible thanks to the crew at Blok Watches for entrusting me with your product. I appreciate so very much. I will get these boxed up and shipped back to you on the ASAP. And stay tuned for me to use my own discount code to buy the black version because it's just so cool. So cool. So cool. Watches of whimsy or wildcard watches. Pick your flavor, whichever you like. And if you end up buying one of these, let them know your boy D sent you. Gosh, but seriously, write me for the discount code. This stuff is absolutely amazing at full price. And you know what? Why not get a discount off of your stuff? Hope that wherever you are in this wonderful, beautiful hobby of ours, that you're doing well and that you're blessed. We will catch you in the next one. Peace. If you'd like to support the channel, head over to hobbyofhours.com. We've got artwork, coffee mugs, hats, t-shirts, and even a watch book. 1001 Watch Designs, Volume 1. Over 1,000 designs in here. Steampunk, super futuristic, kaleidoscope, even super real ones. Watches that you could probably put on your wrist today. It's a great way to support the channel. Thanks for coming along on the ride.